They say if you can visualize it, you can create it. The law of attraction is a real thing. Question is, are you ready to receive? Let's welcome back wealth and business mentor Shamina Taylor on a money manifestation meditation we should all incorporate into our daily lives. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
The triple M's. So the law of attraction, how does it work exactly?
I really believe what you're thinking and feeling is what you're attracting on a daily basis. We're manifesting right now. Whatever we've created in our lives is what we're thinking and bringing in at this current moment.
That is true.
Yeah.
For the better or worse.
Right.
Here, it couldn't be more positive.
Right.
But same goes if you only think negatively, that you're going to bring it onto yourself.
Absolutely.
So how do you turn that into dollars into your bank account?
Well, the first thing is getting yourself out of scarcity mindset and going into an abundant state of thinking. So the more that you can, find the wealth in your life right now, the more wealth you'll attract into your life. But if you're looking at what's missing all the time, guess what? That's what you'll be attracting more of, is the lack.
And I agree. When you sit down and you close your eyes and you visualize the life that you want, you start to understand what that looks like to you, and it's different for everybody. But then what is the first step once you've done that to start manifesting, to actually start seeing it materialize?
Well, I start baby steps. So I start looking for things that provide evidence for me, because we manifest from our emotional state.
Yeah.
Our subconscious is always manifesting. It's from our emotions. So no matter when, you can think things a lot, which is important, but here's going to trump it. So if we can start feeling into it's working, guess what? It will. So I don't go and say start with something big.
Right.
Start with something small. Like I would love to manifest $5 or 5 cents or whatever it is. I just sometimes say look for a penny, and I'll tell my people, like, when you see the penny, go crazy over it, because the universe doesn't know the difference between a penny and $1 million.
That is true.
But it's how you're feeling about it. So if you start feeling like it's working, oh, I got a penny here, $10 here, $5, a free dinner, I got extra guac. You start getting excited about this stuff.
And celebrate those little things too.
Absolutely. The more you celebrate, whatever gets celebrated gets duplicated, or replicated. So the more that you're sitting in this, that's why I tell my kids, like, go crazy, get excited about something, because then you're like, I want more of this. That's what you're signaling.
Right.
So then you expect it to come.
And I also think that when you ooze that sense of positivity, you do attract people into your lives that are equally on that same vibration, and you never know what kind of opportunity they can bring your way as well. Right?
Absolutely. I mean, you're keeping yourself open to receiving more and more and more. So for me, if I have a conversation you could have with the Uber driver, and all of a sudden you're staying open to that conversation, then you get to where your hotel is, and then there's an opportunity there for you. So for me, I always like to stay open to what's the possibility that's out there for me when I'm attracting something into my life. You never know how it's going to come, and it might not be packaged in that little Tiffany box, but it might be bringing you something that's going to bring you to that next level of where you're going with the wealth that you want to create.
And how do you manage expectations? Because I know we just talked about just to celebrate all the little things, whether it's a free little cup of guacamole or it's $10,000 that accidentally ended up in your bank account. But how do you set expectations and just to watch it grow rather than feel disappointed when maybe it wasn't as much as you had hoped it would be?
The way I handle disappointment is it's just not yet.
Yeah. It's
just not yet. It's just, if you can, and you have to have full faith there, because if you look at what's not happening, you're going to actually manifest that. So if you can just hold it, I have a saying called it's happening. If you can hold the belief that it's happening, then it will come to you faster, as opposed to if you just throw doubt on it or look like, oh, it's not working.
Right.
So sometimes people say you're living in la la land, you got to be practical. I don't teach that, because I feel like if you can just stay open to the possibility that it is on its way, maybe not tomorrow, but if you stay open that it's on its way, it's going to come to you way faster.
Right, exactly. Because we talked about this in our last segment when we discussed about not giving up the Starbucks. You don't have to give up the little things that you're spending money on in order to make sure that you can make ends meet in the new year. The expectation is that you still have your wants and you just bring your income up to meet those wants and surpass it.
Absolutely. Some of my clients, what has happened for them is that even though they have a 9-to-5 job, they'll get an extra bonus. They'll have an increase in pay, because you start expecting like the abundance is around you. Instead of looking at what's here, you start looking at, well, what else did I not know that could be possible for coming in for me?
Right.
Like a property that you could have could sell for double the price. Like, you just don't know where the money will come in, so just don't try and figure out the how. Just stay in the state of course it's working, of course it's on its way. And this is why I love little kids, because they don't have that practicality yet.
I know.
They have this like belief that everything's going to work out. If we could just go back to that,
right?
It's magic.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. And when you talk about the power of positive thinking, if you can believe it, if you can conceive it, you believe it, you can achieve it.
Absolutely.
And you can do that with money. You can do it with anything.
Anything. If you could do it with money, which I have figured out very well,
yeah.
and you can do it with men, you can do it with all the things.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
I'm working on that part. But I mean,
it's going to happen.
Yeah,
it's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening.
I love it. Where can people find you?
They can find me at ShaminaTaylor.com. You can find me at Shamina Taylor on Instagram and Shamina Taylor at YouTube. Come connect with me. I would love to get to know you.
Wonderful, Shamina. Thank you so much. It's happening, everyone.
It's happening.
We'll be back in 2 minutes.